Hi, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. So today, I want us to talk about Judge Ratta's apology to the public, to South Africans, to people that watch the Sizwe case, I suppose, to foreigners, to the accused, to the 5 accused people. I want us to talk about that. Before we get into doing that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please make sure that you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure that you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you are supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, please. This is what's happening. Guys, like, share, comment. Engagement is key on the social media networks. Okay. Now, this is the apology that Judge Ratta did today in court, the 9th of June, 2025. After what happened on Thursday in court, he said it was on Friday, but actually it was on Thursday. This is what he said when he began his apology. I got this from my colleague. I know she won't mind. My colleague, Mzansi Unfiltered, put it like word for word there on her timeline on Facebook, on her Facebook page. Do go see it there. Uti Judge Ratta. All of us, I suppose, we read newspapers. This proper that I should address this issue. I have been 26 years on the bench as an acting judge and as a judge. I have never, ever, ever behaved the way I did on Friday. It was on Thursday. Okay. And I've been 30 years as an attorney before I became a judge. I spoke to JP and the JP spoke to me together with DJP. And the JP rightfully exploited me for my conduct. That is not befitting of a judge of my experience and stature. That I should have behaved like I did, and I agree. And I agree. My conduct was questionable and incorrect. My wife also, who I thought Saba is afraid of me, told me that I should apologize to the whole of South Africa because I'm worse than the attorneys who apparently steal money of clients in the rough matter. She was reading the paper the other day about attorneys who are colorless, who stole about 1.5 billion rough funds which belong to clients. I wish to tender my sincerest apologies. It's concrete my nature to do that. I have a son who just died recently, who's an advocate. He is older than you, Ms. Mshololo. He was born in 1968. He died because of lymphatic cancer. He would have also been disappointed at my conduct. That's why I say that I heartily and unreservedly, with no qualification, apologize to my colleagues. Here points to the state and defense team, the accused, the gentle in front of me, and I've also been accused of being a racist. I want to just say one or two things about me without being a lawyer. I grew up at the house of Moses Kotane. Nelson Mandela used to come at home. Walter Sisulu even, before they broke away from the ANC. My father was involved as a member of the ANC and Communist Party. He would be mortified to hear that I am racist. My late grandmother was a German. She was born in Bornholm. Apparently, she met some German priest, meaning my granny was a German. I recall that she used to cut her hair short so that people do not realize that she has white blood. So I know everything about racism. I grew up also under the tutelage of the late Bishop Dudu. I was talking to his son, Trevor, yesterday at the seminar. If you want to know me, whether I'm racist or not, you can ask, for instance, Archbishop Thabo Mahola, Professor Lisiba Tifo, Professor Seth Cooper, Professor Bani. I used to be a member of SASO, founder 1968, but at Forte, I was a secretary of, became a member of Black People's Convention after the ANC was banned, and subsequently, I became a member of ZAPU. And I was the secretary of Legal Affairs and Sports. I cut my teeth in politics with Cyril Ramaphosa. He was my junior, actually, in politics. But I tremble on anybody's toes because, but if I trembled on anybody's toes because of my racism, despite being in adherence of the Freedom Charter 1955, I was there with my father. I wish to apologize for being a racist. I'll try and mend my ways, but I can tell you it's not a conscious thing about me to be racist. So I apologize. To the gentleman, the accused in front of me, if you believe that I, as a judge, am so useless, dumb, etc., and you think you can't get a fair trial me, please tell me so I can recuse myself. I don't want to impose myself on people that who doubt my integrity, honor, and dignity. And I mean it. If you think this judge, the way he is a racist, doesn't care for the Constitution, please tell me and I'll recuse myself. So that is the apology. My wife told me I must apologize to all South Africans. I asked her jokingly, even the undocumented? She said, yes. She said all. Even to the politicians, because I'm told politicians are worried about me. They want to summon me to parliament. I don't know for what. And most graciously, I want to apologize to the Chief Justice Maya, Chief Justice Zondo, to all these colleagues. He also mentioned Chief Justice Mogoeng. I was also found by persons I've tutored as an attorney and advocate. Some of them are on the bench and some at the Constitutional Court. They were also shocked that I am racist. Okay, I hope you accept my apology. I also want to apologize to all the judges, magistrates, prosecutors, those studying law who felt insulted, slighted at my conduct. Where is the apology for advocates, for lawyers? That was the judge's apology, guys, to the country. Let's break it down a bit now without reading it. And then after that, he says, after that, before anything else, he says, shortly, he was like a minute later, this is what he said. Ms. Mshololo, you were not here for 2 weeks. I thought you would come to my chambers for the indulgence, but you didn't. You just sat there. Let's get on to this like this way. Step by step now without me doing what I was doing. Hang on. You know my chair, guys. You know my chair. So, I suppose you read newspapers and you obviously hear the news. Maybe that's what he was saying. It is proper that I should address this issue because Friday, I suppose he was not happy to do it. So he had Friday, Saturday, Sunday to talk to self and be ready to do this. Otherwise, things are not looking good because that's what we thought. And then he says that he has never, ever behaved the way he did. Why is that not true? Because we were here, we sit here and listen to the Senzo Mewa case, and it's not the last, it was not the first time. The first day, it was not the first time. So please say. And then he tells us about his 30 years as an attorney, and then before he became a judge. He says, I spoke to JP, and JP spoke to me, and so Bambi Zile and spoke to him and told him, and his wife and other people called him. So the only reason he's apologizing, it's because someone there were people that are telling him, you need to apologize. There were people that were telling him, you need to apologize for what you did. But he says he agrees with them. Okay. That's why he has apologized. His conduct was questionable and incorrect. He agrees. That's what he says. Yabana, when he said, my wife, whom I thought was scared of me, that for me was just wow. Because I don't know if husbands and wives are supposed to be scared of each other. That was very shocking. It was so many things at once. It was too much, guys. It was too much. It was wow. And then he spoke about, okay, guys, you know what? Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.